one. I was into Austin 1300s in the past, and one of my friends, Stephen Burgess, said you need to get an Hillman Imp, they're a great bit of fun. He got one, drove, and I thought, yeah, they're okay, a bit underpowered, but why not? So ended up that I'm in now, which is the Red Sport for restoration. So I spent 2 years doing a restoration on it, rebuilding it. It's a pretty good shell, although I think the car had been reshelled in the past, because there are some pictures come up with it with a sunroof in, and there wasn't when I got it, so it's obviously been reshelled. The shell was a good solid shell, original floors, original sills, usual bit of corrosion on the wheel arches. So here, but generally it was a good solid base. Had the sports front panel on, twin headlamps, boot lid, etc. So I thought, right, we'll do this. And I've always had minis, and it was just something different. Never had a rear engine vehicle before, so I thought, right, we'll get one of these. And spent 2 years doing it up. Went out with it, I thought, what on earth have I bought? It was slow as a snail, little 875cc, wouldn't pull skin off a rice pudding, I thought. But the more you drive it, the more you fall in love with them. And what you've got to do with the Hillman Imp, you've got to rev them. They're a Coventry Climax engine. There's no torque really, unless you bore them out, which everybody does these days. But they're not a very torquey engine. So they're built on revs. You have to rev them 5, 6, 7,000 revs. People are, oh, you don't do that. These just do it every day, and I'll demonstrate that in a minute when I'm on East Lancashire Road. But what a car. If you're looking for a first time classic, they're not getting cheap now, they've started to come up, but they're a great alternative to a Mini or an Escort. You know, they're comfortable to drive, they've got proper suspension all the way around, independent. Aluminium engine. Yes, they have problems with overheating, but all that's been resolved now. The better egg gaskets, more understanding of cooling systems, antifreeze and whatnot, and just generally the better built. Tolerances are a lot better, and they're a real good car to have and to drive. So as you'll hear, I'm revving now, 7,000 revs, no problem. First gear, second gear, 6,000 revs. They just sing along. They're not the fastest, they'll easily keep up with motorway traffic, but for nipping us round town, you can't really beat them. They're up to 30 mile an hour virtually in first gear if you cane it a bit. But they're a great bit of fun. They handle like they're on rails. They're really good for handling, especially when you lower the front slightly and put a bit of wider wheels on, get a little bit of negative camber. Yes, they're a bit noisy, but most old cars are noisy. But from smiles per mile, you can't beat them. Like any classic car really, and it's very hard to describe unless you're a classic car owner. When you've had a bad day at work, where you're just generally fed up, you go out, whether you polish your car, go for a spin in it, it just puts that smile on your face, which you can't buy. And I've owned classic cars now for 30 plus years. I'll ever do without one. I did once for about 12 months, and it felt like my world had ended, sad as it sounds. But and even if it's a standard one, you can tune it and make it go very, very well.